Good day, grade 12 learners and teachers. My name is Mampo Tau. I'm going to teach mathematical literacy. The topic will be data handling. So in front of us, we have different questions based on data handling. So first of all, we are going to tackle those questions. As you know, that each question is numbered. So we are going to read the first scenario 1.1. It reads as Galen has a program at his workshop whereby workers can improve their qualifications for further studies after hours. The scores below represent workers' performance in a 50-mark test written in March 2008. There is a given data of scores. Let us start with numbers or data. 34 semicolon 9 semicolon 44 semicolon 20 semicolon 33 semicolon 40 semicolon 35 semicolon 46 semicolon 37 semicolon 43. The reason why we have put a semicolon is that semicolon separate numbers. So I hope you have understood that scenario. Now we are going to the questions that will be based on that scenario. So we proceed to 1.1.2. As a grade 12 learner, when you are answering a question, it is very, very important for you to number it correctly. Let us read the question. Determine the mean. So here you are requested to determine the mean. So to determine a mean, it means that you will be helped by the data that is given to you on that scenario that we have just read. So for you to determine a mean, it means that we normally know that you can rearrange data, or you can just write as it is. So let me show you how are you going to determine the mean. So before I answer the question, I have told you that numbering of a question is very important. It's 1.1.2. So you are requested to determine a mean. So how are you going to write it? First of all, you say mean. Very important, because we need to understand what are you dealing with. So you say mean is equals to, then you go back to your data. First of all, it is very important for you, as you are going to write that data, check by counting how many values have been given to you. So let us go and read it. Count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You've got 10 numbers. So now you are going to calculate the mean. So what are you going to do? You are going to say 34 plus 9 plus 44 plus 20 plus 33 plus 40 plus 35 plus 46 plus 37 plus 43. So please check that all numbers are 10. If you don't do that, you might miss the correct answer. So let us all check again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's correct. So you know that when you calculate mean, we say that sum of the value divided by number of values is what we have just done. So now we have to divide all this. We are going to divide all the data or the sum. So you divide it out of 10. You go to another step. You show your equal sign. For another step, it means that you had to add all data. So let us add. Check from the scenario that is given in front of us. We are going to say 34 plus 9 plus 44 plus 20 plus 33 plus 40 plus 35 plus 46 plus 37 plus 43. Then equal sign. The sum of that value is 341. I believe you've got it. Let us write it down. It will be 341. Very important. Then you divide it by 10. Then you go to another step. So we had to arrive to the answer. Then you take your calculator again. You say 341. You divide it by 10. Then your answer will be 34,1. Yes, I can see you have found it. It's 34,1. Let us write it down. It's 34,1. So let us check your steps. You've got 3 steps. You have added all the data and you have divided by 10. This step is very, very important because when you are going to be marked, this step is very, very vital. So you will be allocated 1 mark there. Then for the second step, as you can see, 341 divided by 10 is also a mark. Then for arriving at your answer is also a mark. So let us check to your question 1.1.2. That question was allocated 3 marks. So as you know that the instructions of mathematical literacy normally says that show all your steps. We discourage learners not to show steps just by writing answers. So when you show steps, it means that you might arrive at the wrong answer, but your first step and the second step might be right. So it is very important for you when you are approaching or answering a mean or calculating a mean. Please show all the steps. Show the sum of the data, then divide it by 10, then you come up to second step, whereby you have added all the data. The first, which is 341 divided by 10, then your answer will be 34,1. That is all that is expected from you. Then after answering your question, you should know that you should skip a line. As a grade 12 learner, please write neatly and try to skip a line as I have just indicated. Don't just write everything together. So we are going to answer question 1.1.3. So when you are going to answer it, let us check it. You will say, you skip a line, you say 1.1.3. There you are. Then let us read the question of 1.1.3. Determine the median. So if you had to determine a median, remember when you first answered a mean, we have said that you can rearrange the data or just write it as it is. It doesn't make any problem or difference. But when it comes to a median, you need to be careful. Here you have to arrange your data in order. So before we can determine your median, first of all, arrange the data. So let us go back to our data, and please rearrange it with me. Let us start with the small number from the data. You arrange the data in order, from ascending order to descending order. Let us start. I will just give you 1 minute to check which numbers will follow each other from ascending to descending. Good. We can start together. So let us start by arranging it together. The first number will be 9, semicolon. The second one will be 20. Are you following me? Good. The third one will be, let us check, will be 33. After 33, it will be 34. Can you see it? Yes, I can see. You can see it. It's 34. Remember, semicolon separates the number. Please write as it is. It's 34. Another number will be 35. Good. The following number will be, check carefully, is 37. The following number after 37 will be 40. Are we together? Good. After 40, which number will follow? Will be 43. After 43, it will be 44. After 44, it will be 45. 6. So now you have to count to check whether you have 10 numbers. Let us read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You've got all numbers. So you have arranged it from ascending to descending. So now after you wrote this data accordingly, then you can start answering the question. So let us go back. The question said determine the median. So you need to write a median down. You write a median. Okay, you write a median down. You say median is equals to. So you have 10 numbers. So since 10 is an even number, take the mean of the 2 in the middle. So let us check. You said you have 10 numbers. So the best way to check, because you have 10 numbers, so you will have 2 numbers in the middle. So how are you going to arrive to those 2 numbers? You can start on your left by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you stop at number 35. You go to the right side, you start with 46, you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got 37 from your right hand side, then you've got 35 from your left hand side. So you underline the 2 middle numbers. So you take those 2 middle numbers, then you write them where you wrote median, because median is the one that you have to determine. You say median is equals to 35 plus 37. Then you divide it by 2, because you had 2 middle numbers. So you divide them by 2. You go to another step. Please, even when you are calculating median, please show steps. Then you take your calculator and let us calculate. Your middle number is 35 plus 37 equals to 72. You divide it by 2, gives you 36. There is 36. You write it down is 36. Meaning your middle number will be 36. So between 35 and 37, you will have a middle number, which is what? 36. So you have answered this question. So it is very important when you are answering to check marks that are allocated for that question. So in this question, they have allocated how much? 3 marks. So how are we going to mark this? For achieving the 2 middle numbers, will give you a mark for that, and divided by 2 is another mark, and for the answer is another mark. So this is very, very important. So be careful. I believe you got everything in order. So you have answered 1.1.3. Now we had to go to 1.1.4. Remember, I said whenever you're answering any question in Maths Lit, we are encouraging you to skip a line. Skip a line, then you go to, we are moving to 1.1.4. Let us check the question for 1.1.4. Let us read it together. What percentage does this mean value represent in relation to the total mark of the test? So you should understand this question very careful. We need a percentage of what? Of the mean value. So how are you going to get it? To get the mean value, we are going to say, let us go to our answer sheet. You've got a numbering which is 1.1.4, so we have to find a percentage. So we are going to say the mean value divided by the total mark multiply by 100%. Do you agree with me? If you are confused, let us go back to the question. What percentage does this mean value represent in relations to the total mark of the test? So for you to get a percentage, you had to say the mean value, you divide it by the total mark multiplied by 100%. So let us write it. We are saying we are looking for a percentage. We say percentage equals to what? Equals to, what is your mean value? Your mean value is 36. Is 36. So we are going to say 36 you divided by, what was the total mark for the test? Remember, from the first scenario, we have said the workers performed in a 50-mark test. So the test was out of 50. So now you go back, you say 36, you divide it by what? You divide it by 50, you multiply it by 100%. It is very important for you to show us the percentage line, because it shows us that you know what you are looking for. So after you do the first step, then you go to your calculator. You say 36, you divide it by 50. The total mark of a test was out of 50, equals sign, you multiply by what? You multiply by 100, which is 72. It gave us 72. So now you write your answer, it will be 72. 72 what? 72%. Please don't just write 72. You might lose a mark by just writing by just writing 72, omitting percentage. Please don't forget to show a percentage sign. So how are we going to allocate marks for this? You will be given a mark for step number 1, and for giving us a number with a percentage, you are also going to get another mark. So in all you have 2 marks. So never work so hard and lose any mark by just leaving a percentage sign. So this was the answer that was expected from 1.1.4. Remember, when you had to find a percentage, it means that you had to find the mean value, which was 36, then you divide it by 50, you multiply it by 100%. Your answer should be in percentage, which is 72. Then we can move to another question, which is 1.1.5. Let us read the question. So the question says, the following is a summary of a 50-mark test written in February by the same workers. Meaning that these workers wrote 2 tests. The first test was in February. As you go back to the given scenario, the test that they wrote secondly was in March. So they wrote a test from February and they wrote a test in March. So they've got 2 tests. So now we go back to 1.1.5, whereby it says the following is a summary of a 50-mark test written in February by the same workers. So the mean for the first test was 38 and the median for first test was 35. So we are going to answer that. Let us read what is needed, the question that is needed there. It reads as, compare the 2 test results and motivate which one was easier. Okay, remember we were given the first test. First test is given saying mean is 38, median is 35. Then you have calculated the mean of test 2. So what was your mean for test 2? Was, you can go back and check. Let us check together. The second test, the mean was 34,1. Are we together? Then let us go back and write the mean for second test is 34,1. Then we should write the median which is, as you can see, the median for the second test is 36. So now you go back and write a median for the second test, which is 36. So as you can see, you have collected the mean for test 1 and the median for test 1. Then you got a mean for test 2 and median for test 2. So now, as the question says, you now had to compare. Let us read. Now you had to compare the two test results. We compare the two test results, and we should motivate which one was easier. You can start comparing. I will just give you 2 minutes to compare the results. Then after, you tell us which one was easier. I believe we have compared 2 results and you have motivated your answer, which one was easier. We can start now with test 1. On average, learners obtained a higher mark, which is 38. Mean and average is the same weight. So we can write it by saying on mean or average, learners obtained a higher mark, which is 38, as opposed to 34,1 of test 2. As opposed to 34,1 of test 2. As you can see, it means that in test 1, learners had obtained higher mark, and on test 2, they have obtained lower marks, which is 34,1. As you can see that it shows that test 1 was easier. But let us check again with our median. So even though the median for test 2 is higher than that of test 1. The difference is too small. The difference is too small. So it shows you that the difference is only 1. So now we can say that we can conclude or motivate it by saying that test 1 was easier. So let us check. Test 1, your mean was 38, median was 35. Then test 2, your mean was 34,1 and median was 36. It means that half of the class got below 35, the median, and half of the class got above 35. And also in test 2, it shows that half of the class got below 36 and half of the class got above 36. So you can see that test 1 was easier. That is the conclusion for 1.1.5. So this is how you can motivate your answer, by showing us that test 1 learners obtained higher mark, which is 38, and for test 2 is 34,1. It was lower than 38. Even the median for test 2 is higher than that of test 1. The difference is too small. So meaning test 1 was easier. Then we can go, after finishing that one, we can go to another question. So we'll be moving to 1.4, exemplar 2008. So let us read the given scenario. Let us read it together. Before you answer any question, it is very important to read the scenario and understand it. Let us read together. Miss Long is the high jump coach at Roseland High School. She records the heights jumped by the 5 boys in the high jump team. Then after reading that, you go to your questions now. So it will be followed by a question. Its numbering is, let us check, its numbering is, let me leave this one. Its numbering is 1.4.1. So let us read that question. Lerato is one of the members of the team. The following are the heights in meters of his last 12 jumps. You have records of Lerato. Let us read it together, that data, the given data. Remember now, you have 1,70. Comma means that is the part of the number. Between the numbers 1,70 and 1,68, we have a semicolon. Semicolon separate numbers. So let us count together. You have 1,70. You've got 1,68 semicolon. You've got 1,78 semicolon, 1,90 semicolon, 1,74 semicolon, 1,85 semicolon, 1,81 semicolon, 1,95 semicolon, 1,98 semicolon, 2,00 semicolon, 2,02 semicolon, 1,80. That's all. You can start counting how many data has been given to you. Let us count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You've got 12 values. So let us come to the question. It says determine the following. Let us check. Remember, now the numbering of this question is 1.4.4. Don't forget to write a number for that question. Thereafter you check. Now they say determine. In this question you've got a symbol A, question for B, and you've got question for C. It means that when you are answering this one, you will say 1.4.1, then you start with answering number A. You start answering number A. Now let us check the question for number A. The median height jumped. Determine. Let us read together. Determine the following. The median height jumped by Lerato during the last 12 terms. Be careful. Here you are not supposed to calculate a mean, but you are requested to determine the median. Don't confuse a mean and a median. As you know that normally first question when you are dealing with data handling, they will start by saying calculate a mean, then a median. But here, be careful. Here you have to determine the median. So we had to calculate the median height jumped by Lerato during his last 12 jumps. So as you have learned, we have said that before you can answer or calculate a median, you have to arrange your data in order from small number to a bigger number. Another word is from ascending to descending. So let's go back to your data and rearrange it. What is your smallest number? Is 1,68. 1,68. The second one, I'll give you some few seconds to give us the second one or write the second one. Then it will be 1,70. Are we together? Then don't forget to write a semicolon as it separates the numbers. Thereafter, we move to, you check, you are dealing with 70s, you are done with 1,70. Then there you can see 1,74. Let us write it down. 1,74 semicolon. Then you check. Then we have found 1,78 semicolon. Another number will be 1,80. Can you see that? I'm giving you time to see it. It is on the last of your data. 1,80 semicolon will be followed by 1, good, 1,85. No, 1,81. Sorry for that. Then it okay. We've got 5 minutes for a break. After break, I believe we will finish this one, but we can hurry up by finishing this data. Then you will have 1,85 semicolon. Then you have 1,90 semicolon. Then you will have 1,85. Then you have what? 1,90. Then we'll have 1,5 semicolon. We will have 1,98 semicolon. We'll have 2,00 semicolon. Will have 2,02. Let us count quickly whether we are having a 12 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got what? 12 numbers. Meaning now, as we have 12 numbers, you know that 12 is a even number. So it means that we are going to have 2 middle numbers. So let us check how are you going to get 2 middle numbers. You can start on your left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can underline 1,81. Then you come up to your right hand side. Let us count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 1,85. So your 2 middle numbers will be 1,81 and 1,85. So let us go and answer the question. You are requested to determine a median. So you write your 2 middle numbers, which is 1,81 plus 1,85. Then you divide it by 2 equals to, let us go to your calculator. You say 1,81 plus plus 1,85 equals to you divided by 2. It gives you 1,83. So your middle term between 1,81 and 1,85 will be what? Will be 1,83. So that question was allocated for how many marks? It was 4 marks. So I believe for arranging your data, you will be given 2 marks. Then for collecting 2 middle numbers, another mark, and for your answer will be another mark. So all in all, it will be 4 marks. First of all, for you, for calculating the median, kindly be focused to arrange your number from small to big. From ascending, another word or term is ascending. From ascending to descending. Thereafter, you have found your 2 middle numbers, which is 1,81 plus 1,85. Then you divide it by 2. Thereafter, you get an answer which is 1,85. 1,83 is your median. So you have answered 1.4.1 number A. After break, we will do number B. Number B, you can start doing it. We will do it together after break. Check number B. The question says the height that is his lower quartile, in brackets Q1. So here you are requested to determine his lower quartile. So there is a way in which we will teach you how to determine the lower quartile. So remember, you will be helped by what? By arranging your data in order from ascending to descending.